the people want to see something, we provide. That's the job of a fighter. From what I'm hearing, people want to see a rematch. If that is the case, then I will do everything in my power to oblige.
But I said to Conor, you know, when I said about, yeah, maybe you look at 147, and he just looked at me and he said, if you think that fight was a war, wait till you see the rematch. I was like, and I just feel like...
Seller had already said they had the rematch. So it's a done deal, isn't it?
Absolutely. Look, it's a done deal.
Can you see?
And I don't know where you think
a different
on
outcome?
this.
Can you see a different outcome?
It depends what's in the contracts. As in, if there's no rehydration clause, then Chris Eubank Jr wins. But
Riley against Chef Clark, but you're just seeing two guys going at it from round 1 to round 12, where I thought there's definitely going to be a let-off. There's definitely going to be someone deciding, okay, it's a bit too much. Let's take it easy. Just action-packed. I was gripped. And having been ringside for so many fights, I've not been gripped.
I think that's a fair comment.
Yeah,
Ade Oladipo explodes with a warning on TalkSport, claiming the Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn rematch could turn into a dangerous bloodbath. He doesn't hold back, saying Benn's rage, pride, and need for redemption could push him to fight recklessly, turning the bout into pure chaos. On the other side, Simon Jordan fires back, slamming the entire event as a marketing circus built on controversy and bad blood. He questions whether Benn even deserves a second shot. The tension boils over as both pundits clash over one explosive question: are we heading for a war or a disaster?
I think there's a rematch in the contract, so
yeah,
there's no doubt that they'll run that one back and do it all over again.
Oladipo ignites controversy on TalkSport, warning that the upcoming rematch between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn could spiral into a dangerous bloodbath. Depot didn't hold back, claiming Benn's pride, rage, and burning need for redemption could push him into reckless territory. This isn't just about boxing skill anymore, he said. It's about emotion, and that could turn this fight into chaos. Simon Jordan quickly fired back, slamming the entire event as nothing more than a marketing stunt, built on controversy and past bad.
But I said to Conor, you know, when I said about, yeah, maybe you look at 147, and he just looked at me and he said, if you think that fight was a war, wait till you see the rematch. I was like, and I just feel like...
blood. Jordan questioned whether Conor Benn even deserved a second shot, claiming the promotion is more circus than sport. The studio erupted as both pundits clashed over one burning question: are we heading toward a war or a disaster? Adding more fuel to the fire, Harlem Eubank ripped into Conor Benn with brutal honesty. He torched Benn's trash talk, saying his loudmouth antics only made his previous defeat more humiliating. All that ego, Harlem said, and nothing to back it up in the ring. He slammed Benn's lack of...
We're very confident about the rematch, and it will be brutal again, so I can only speak on my behalf, but, you know, we've signed for it, Eubank signed for it, and we expect it to happen.
Discipline, calling his performance a mismatch compared to the bravado he carried before the first bout. According to Harlem, Eubank Jr. has nothing left to prove. The first fight was a statement. The next one will be a burial. Then came the official word. Eddie Hearn confirmed the rematch is on. Both fighters have signed, and there's no turning back. When Hearn floated the idea of returning to 147 pounds, Conor Benn snapped. His response was nothing short of savage. If the first fight was brutal, the rematch will be carnage. Hearn praised Eubank Jr. for
box anymore because his legs weren't working.
Yeah.
He was throwing a lot of shots, but nothing had any real power or snap because he didn't have it in him, and so he couldn't force his size advantage on Benn.
For his clinical dominance in the first fight, but noted Benn's long layoff and ring rust played a major role. With a full camp and no setbacks, he believes Benn will return as a dangerous beast. This isn't just a fight, it's a grudge match with deep scars. With both camps fired up and ready for war, Hearn warns fans, if you thought the first clash was explosive, the sequel will be total destruction. The atmosphere is already heating up, and Conor Benn's thirst for vengeance is sparking a different kind of fire. He's not just preparing, he's coming for total annihilation. This isn't just a rematch, it's a violent reckoning in the making. Meanwhile, Adam Booth cuts through the noise with surgical precision, dismissing weight as any factor and laying bare the truth. Benn crumbled under real pressure. Booth claimed Benn was physically and mentally finished well before the final bell. His footwork collapsed.
Revenge, man. All my revenge. I think inactivity played a big part.
His punches lost all snap, and the supposed dogfight became a desperate struggle. Booth stressed that Eubank Jr. didn't rely on size, but instead used superior technique, control, and psychological pressure. It was smart, calculated dominance, not brute force. Benn couldn't handle the tempo, couldn't match the IQ, and ultimately drowned in deep waters. Spencer Oliver backed that view, calling it a clear case of skill-level domination. Eubank didn't just win, he shattered the illusion around Benn and proved exactly who belongs at the top. This wasn't just a defeat, it was a dissection. But Conor Benn isn't backing down. He's raging. He's blamed his sluggish display on ring rust, not a lack of ability. Refusing to let that loss define him, Benn has turned.
You saw that. Junior is too big a man. These weights that they are flouting they're destroying the fighters.
Turned humiliation into fuel. He's locked in, obsessed, and sharpening every weapon for the rematch. This isn't just a return. It's a mission. A personal war. And when the bell rings, Benn won't be looking to box. He'll be coming to destroy. Conor Benn's warning is loud and clear. The next time he steps into the ring, there will be no hesitation, no rust, and no excuses. This will be a savage rebirth with only one goal: total destruction. The pressure is mounting like a ticking time bomb, and with each passing day, the rematch looms larger. For Benn, this isn't about bouncing back. It's about erasing humiliation and unleashing controlled chaos. If he truly flips the switch, we could witness the most dangerous version of Conor Benn the sport has ever.
Conor wants it next. Eddie was talking about maybe going down in weight. I think that if they want to get it on, they could do it again, in 6 months' time, and we'll come back.
Scene. And Chris Eubank Jr. might not be ready for what's coming. Meanwhile, Chris Eubank Sr. hasn't held back in his brutal assessment of the original clash. With cold honesty, he tore into the bout, highlighting the clear gap in class between his son and Benn. In his eyes, Benn was never in the same league, outmatched from the opening bell. Eubank Sr. didn't mince words, blasting Benn's reckless weight cutting as not only dangerous, but disrespectful to the sport itself. He was equally vocal in praising his son's discipline and preparation, calling Junior's strength and composure impeccable. No amount of strategy or manipulation, he said, could overcome the physical dominance his son displayed. For Eubank Sr.,
with these rematches, with these types of intense fights taking place, like Conor and Eubank, a rematch right away will probably end their career. It's that intense. It's that so.
The result wasn't just a win; it was a savage reminder that power, discipline, and professionalism still rule the ring. Adam Smith adds his voice to the rising tension, calling the rematch inevitable and explosive. He praised Eubank Jr.'s resilience, calling his performance a clear statement of elite status, especially after navigating intense personal and professional challenges. Yet Smith also pointed to Benn's fire, his burning desire to prove that the first loss was a fluke, not a reflection of his true potential. To Smith, this isn't just a grudge match, it's deeply personal. Two fighters, one unresolved war. Both are carrying the weight of unfinished business, and the world will be watching.
Come back, he'll be a better fighter. We've got a lot to go back. Well, not a lot to go back, just to be able to take his time.
In 6 months' time, the boxing world will witness a collision fueled by pride, pain, and legacy. For Conor Benn, it's redemption. For Chris Eubank Jr., it's confirmation. And when the bell rings, only one will leave as the rightful king of the ring. Oscar De La Hoya is fired up ahead of the explosive rematch between Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr., throwing his full support behind Benn's relentless quest for redemption. After that crushing first loss, De La Hoya believes Benn's talk of ring rust isn't an excuse, it's fuel to the fire. That fire is now pushing Benn harder than ever, forging a sharper, more dangerous version of the fighter we've seen before. The pressure is immense, but instead of breaking him, it's transforming Benn. De La Hoya is confident. This time, Benn won't just show up, he'll dominate. He predicts Benn will control the pace, dismantle Eubank's strategy, and announce himself as a true force in the division. With everything on the line, De La Hoya insists Benn's comeback will shock the boxing world. But the fire doesn't stop there. Nigel Benn has erupted with rage, branding the original fight result a total sham. He's dismissed Eubank Jr.'s win as a fluke, claiming his son was nowhere near 100%, and accusing the bout of being nothing more than a setup, the calm before the real storm. Nigel is demanding a rematch, warning that a focused, fully prepped Conor will return with ruthless precision and obliterate Eubank. In Nigel's eyes, the real war hasn't started yet, but it will, and when it does, he guarantees the outcome will be violently different. Now the burning question remains: can Chris Eubank Jr. survive the storm when Conor Benn returns, sharpened, stronger, and deadlier than ever? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think dominates the rematch?